Hello everyone, this is Jay Wengro and welcome to Think Like a Software Engineer, episode 15. Software engineers love to automate things. That is, if they find themselves doing something over and over again, they ask themselves, how can I write code or set up software that can automatically do this stuff for me? Now, another important thing that a software engineer knows is that they don't always have to write code to accomplish something. Sometimes you can do it in other ways that are cheaper, faster, or easier. I'm going to show you today a fascinating tool called Zapier that allows you to do automation with the software engineering mindset alone and not have to write any code. In front of me here, I have a Google Sheet called Interesting Articles. As you can see, it's empty. I would like to have it filled from articles posted in our internal team's Slack channel. We have a Slack channel called Interesting Articles, and here our team posts interesting articles that they find across the web. I would like to automatically have these Slack posts get populated into this spreadsheet here. This way they queue up, and then I can distribute them. We have various social media accounts and such where we distribute and curate interesting articles. So right now, manually, I have to go into this Slack channel, scroll through it, see some interesting things, and then manually put them on Twitter or whatever. But I would like to have these automatically get populated and queued up into this spreadsheet. This way they just exist in a queue. And as I distribute them, I can delete them from the sheet. And this way I don't also end up distributing the same piece of content more than once. So how can I automatically get the stuff from the Slack channel, get each post from the Slack channel to become a row within this spreadsheet? So we're going to use this tool that I mentioned before called Zapier. I am going to continue as myself. Okay, so here we are on the home page, and there's a lot going on, but here I'm going to click on this widget. What do you want to automate today? I want to connect Slack with Google Sheets. And then I'm going to click on this button called Make a Zap. So here we have to select what they call a Slack trigger. Basically, some event has to happen within Slack to trigger this piece of automation. So we have a couple options here, and it looks like the one that we want is the new message posted to channel. So we're going to click on that, save and continue. And now we have to connect it with our Slack account, give it authorization. And it asks me to give authorization. I'll just do that. And it looks like it found me, the @J username within this Slack group. I suppose I can test it. Success. Okay, I guess it worked, so save and continue. Now we have to choose the channel within my Slack group that I want to cause the trigger. So it actually pulls up all the different Slack channels that we have. So I'm going to click on the Interesting Articles Slack channel. It asks us if we want the trigger to happen for bot messages. We'll just say no and continue. So now it asks me to pick a sample to set up the Zap. What it's asking me to do is to create a message in Slack. So I'm going to post something to the Interesting Articles Slack channel. I'm just going to type in test, and we're going to see if that does anything. We're going to pull in samples. Cool. So let's click on this to see what this is. There's a lot here, but we can see that it has text test. So that is our message. So let's just continue. So now it asks us to choose an action app, and I'm going to choose Google Sheets. That is, we're going to connect Slack with Google Sheets. So now it asks us to select Google Sheets action. So what we want to do is we want to create a new row within our spreadsheet. Save and continue. It's really cool how Zapier has all these options and features for all these different applications. It's very incredible. Select Google Sheets account, and now it's asking us to connect and authorize our Google account. So we gave it authorization, test, success, save and continue. Okay, so now we have to choose the spreadsheet. So it's pulling up all the different spreadsheets I have in Google Drive. So we're going to pick interesting articles. And then we are going to pick a worksheet within the spreadsheet, because a spreadsheet can have multiple worksheets, multiple tabs. Now this particular spreadsheet only has one called sheet 1. So we're going to just pick that. It says we didn't see any headers in the selected spreadsheet and worksheet, which is true because I didn't add any. It's just a blank spreadsheet. But it looks like that it specifically wants us to add headers because the continue button is disabled. So I guess we'll just do that. I'll call it article. And I will bold this row. I'll also freeze it. Okay, back to Zapier. Let's refresh the fields. So this third field is critical. It says article optional, but basically we're saying what is going to go into the article column in this spreadsheet. So we're going to click on this, click on that button, and we're going to put in the text that is the body of the Slack post and continue. Send test to Google Sheets. Okay. Boom. There we have a test value added to the second row in the first column. So let's delete that row and hit finish. It says ready to turn on your Zap. Let's turn it on. Awesome. Your Zap is working. So let's pull up the spreadsheet here and pull up Slack. And now I'm going to say Zapier test 1, 2, 3, hit enter. And then boom, we saw a few seconds later it appeared on our spreadsheet. So now anytime someone posts something to this channel, it's automatically going to get added to this spreadsheet. So that is super cool automation. As of now, Zapier has a free mode where it gives you, I think, 5 zaps. So I encourage you to explore Zapier and see all the different things that you can automate. Things that perhaps you're doing manually and are tedious. Look at what you can automate. Use the software engineering mindset to make your life easier. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you next week.